Hello, this is Nigel at Spiritual Awareness New Zealand on the 13th of June 2017, and we're almost halfway through the year. Did you realise that? Okay, now here in Hawke's Bay we've got some very extreme weather, and this is for all of the lower North Island and Cook Strait. The ferries have been cancelled. There's gale force winds, and you can probably hear from time to time in the background here the wind just rushing by. Anyway, when we get weather like that, I usually start looking at the radars and so forth and see what's going on, and so I did, and sure enough, I'll show you what I found. There is weather modification going on around here, absolutely, and you can see it. We'll just go back to 8 AM. You can see all these ripples here, and these very straight lines and so forth, like right up here. But here we get it more clear. Now we've got this sort of triangular thing here, and lots of ripples. Let's just move on to the next hour, 10 o'clock, and you can see all of that. That's electromagnetic frequencies being run on this area. Get this big sort of beam down here with these two little triangular bits here, more EMF up here. Go on to the next hour, and there's this square here right there, and another shot at this beam here. You can see that very, very clear, where it just comes like this sort of rectangular shape there. And okay, and we could probably conclude that that one is one there as well. Rectangle. Okay, and let's go on to 1 o'clock. It's at lunchtime. Okay, 1 o'clock. And it starts getting you can still see the ripples, but not quite so clear. 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Still see some kind of peculiar shapes and stuff that isn't natural, and there's one there, you see. These are just not, a lot of that isn't natural. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, and then we go, okay, I looked at this one isn't showing me a whole lot. Okay, let's have a look here. Just take that down a bit. Yeah, there's a little bit, you can see some shapes going on, but nothing too definitive. And so then I went to have a look at this one, and through most of it you don't see anything, and that's except until the end, and you'll see what happens here. Okay, so here's where it's up to here. It starts here and it goes along this way, right? And you can see what happens out here. And so it's going along here. Let's slow it down a bit. Okay, slow it down, and nothing, and there it starts. Okay, there it starts. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's one of the largest anomalies I've seen, on this chart. It's just nuts. Now you're probably going to be saying, oh, what's that? And some people were saying, oh, what's that? What the hell is that? And others will be saying, oh, it's just a glitch, in the system. Well, all I can say is that it kind of explains a lot about what's going on, and it ain't natural. And that's about it, really. So now let's have a look at this. What I'll do is just want to take this up. Now, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that the anomaly here just happens to be on and around this lower North Island? And remember, there was a storm blowing into Christchurch, Well, I don't say remember, but I've seen it today. Storm in Christchurch. So from Christchurch right up around here, we're experiencing extreme weather, and it just so happens that this anomaly is around that area as well. So, so there we go. Yeah, isn't that interesting? So that's it really. It's just my update to show you that yeah, there's something not natural going on here. There's definitely some electromagnetic frequency. See this here, if you look at it, that just ties in with this here, with that shape, just perfectly. It's right around that area, and it's right around this area that we've had stuff going on. So there we go. Okay, I think that's all the news. So leave it at that. Okay, this is Nigel at Spiritual Awareness New Zealand, checking out.